Today I'm bringing forward an amendment, the A1 amendment.
Senator Eken offers the A1 amendment.
Thank
The
you, Mr.
Secretary will report the amendment.
Senator Eken moves to amend House File Number 1952 as amended pursuant to Rule 45 as follows, page 111, delete Section 29. This is the A1 amendment.
To the amendment, Senator Eken.
Thank you, Mr. President. Members, this amendment would remove language that prohibits cities, townships, counties, school boards from using ranked choice voting in local elections. It would take away local control, which is the ability of local governments to choose this runoff election system if they so choose. I don't believe that we should be dictating to our local units of government. We should allow them to choose this system if they feel that it's best for them. In runoff elections, and that's what ranked choice voting is, it's a runoff election system. Runoff elections are done, I think most people understand this, runoff elections are done when you have multiple candidates and nobody receives a majority of the vote. So it's a way of ensuring that the majority prevails by having a runoff, another round, to ensure that whoever wins has the support of the majority. It ensures that the will of the people will prevail. And that's all ranked choice voting is. It's a runoff election system that ensures that the will of the people shall prevail. But unlike a traditional runoff, which requires voters to come back on a completely separate day in a completely separate election in order to register their votes, ranked choice voting does this in a single cost-effective election. It allows voters to cast their runoff votes on the same day instead of having to come back again. It's much easier for voters because they don't have to come back in order to ensure that their vote counts. And this is one reason that ranked choice voting is so popular in those areas where it's been implemented. And there are many areas where it's been implemented. There's cities right here in Minnesota that currently use it, include Minneapolis, St. Paul, St. Louis Park, Minnetonka, and Bloomington. I think it's important to note that it would be even more, except for the fact that our current law only allows charter cities with odd-year elections to use this system. There are many others who would like to and are actually looking at adopting such a system. My own city of Moorhead, which I represent, is seriously looking at this system. And there are numerous resolutions of support of from local units of government for the local option for local governments. And some of those include Olmsted County has passed a resolution of support for expanding on ranked choice voting and allowing them to choose this system as well. So Otter Tail County, Rochester, Melrose, Edina, the Hopkins School Board, and the city of Red Wing have all passed such resolutions. There are numerous states that are considering this, 2 of which have adopted ranked choice voting, Alaska and Maine. There are more than 24 cities in the U.S. that have done so. So again, and I think it's important to note that this really is a nonpartisan issue. In 2019, I think it's important to point out that Senator Scott Jensen had carried a ranked choice voting bill, and there are a number of Republicans around the country who do support ranked choice voting. In fact, the Indiana Republican Party uses it in their nominating contests. So too does the Utah Republican Party and also the Utah Democratic Party. So it does have bipartisan support. I think it's also important to note that the Minnesota Supreme Court has ruled that this system does uphold the principle of one person, one vote. So that's important to note as well. So I guess, I want to point out some of the benefits to ranked choice voting as well. It does result in more candidates running because candidates don't have to worry about throwing the election to a less popular candidate. So you actually get more candidates running in elections. You get more choices for the people because there's more candidates to choose from. That results in more voters coming out to vote, so it's going to increase voter participation. It's going to increase the number of voices in the process, in the democratic process, and that's a good thing. I think it's also important to note, because you have more candidates running, it's going to increase the civility and decrease the number of negative attack ads that are being made, because it's hard to run against, do negative attack ads against a multitude of other candidates. It's easier if it's limited to just one opponent that you're attacking. So this actually increases the civility in our elections, which is so badly needed right now, more so than I think at almost any other time in our history. We need more civility, and this system would accomplish that. So I guess in a nutshell, I'm saying that this would strengthen our democracy. And, you know, Minnesota has long been considered a leader when it comes to democracy and having a truly representative form of government. I think it's one of the reasons that we have the highest voter turnout in the nation, and I think we can improve upon that even further yet. I take great pride in the fact that we have led the country in voter turnout, and I want us to continue doing that. So I do believe that ranked choice voting is a simple and cost-effective runoff election that ensures the majority will prevail, that ensures the will of the people will prevail, that ensures democracy will prevail. I don't think that the language in this bill, which removes that option from local governments, is moving us in the right direction. I believe it's a step backward. And we want to continue moving forward. And I think it's important to note that we are not asking, with this amendment, we are not asking that ranked choice voting be required by any local unit of government. It's simply asking that they be allowed to choose ranked choice voting if they want it. I think we need to give them that freedom. Give them the freedom to choose. They know best.